Hey. Yo.
Hey.
Hello. Can you hear me?
Do you need me to? I hear me. All right, well, happy Sunday, Central Georgia. It's meteorologist Ansley Parker here, and we are going to take another extended look at the forecast like we do every day at 11 a.m. And we talked a little bit yesterday about the 7-day that we have ahead of us here. Now, there's a lot of sunshine through the rest of the weekend, but as we head into kind of the second portion of the upcoming work week, a few more rain chances have snuck their way onto the 7-day forecast. So we'll kind of tell you the latest on the rain chances that we have for the second half of the work week and next weekend. And then, of course, we'll talk a little bit about our fall spring pattern that we'll be setting up next week as well. Warm temperatures are on the way, and it's just overall going to be a really pleasant week ahead of us. Of course, it's also Super Bowl Sunday today, so if you're looking for an extended forecast into the Super Bowl, both here and in Santa Clara where the game is being played, we're going to talk a little bit more about that as well. But to start off the whole forecast situation here in Central Georgia, I'm going to hand it over to meteorologist Dani Silva with more on that. Dani.
Thank you, Ansley. We had a pretty chilly start to today, but we have a beautiful day going across us right now. So let's see, there we go. As we look at our current sky cams, we have beautiful blue skies, and that's mostly going to be the story for the rest of today. As we look across all 4 sky cams, current temperature in Dublin right now is 46 degrees, and we woke up this morning pretty cold. Across the U.S. though, we have some places in the mid 20s, upper 20s. As you make your way down south, it's getting a lot warmer, and then places in Texas are in the 60s, and luckily we'll be seeing some similar temperatures as we go in later this week. But for us here in the southeast, we're starting to warm up. We did wake up in the low to mid 20s this morning. We do have areas in north and central Georgia that are in the low to mid 40s, but as you start to make your way down south all the way to Albany, they're already starting to hit the 50-degree mark. And as for here locally in central Georgia, most places right now are in the low to mid 40s. We have 43s up in our northern counties, and as you start to make your way down south, it starts to get a little bit warmer. But we got an easterly flow here in terms of wind, and we have a temperature change of about up to 5 degrees. So it is cooler than it was just yesterday, but it is going to be a very similar type of day compared to yesterday. So we're going to see mostly clear skies, just less of a breeze. It's going to be a touch down to what it was yesterday. Yesterday we had gusts of up to 20-25 miles an hour, which made that wind chill with that temperature plus that wind gusts make it feel a lot colder on the skin. But today we don't really have that problem, especially if you're trying to make those outdoor plans or just want to stay outdoors as you're going throughout the evening and watching the Super Bowl outside. The gust shouldn't be a big problem, but it is contributing a little bit to our feels like temperatures for areas that have just a slight breeze, but nothing incredibly different. As we go hour by hour though, we start to climb into the 50s, and we have mid to upper 50s as we head on into the rest of this afternoon. We started off in the 20s, so definitely a big jump in terms of temperature. We're looking at a high of 58 degrees today. Most places are going to be in the mid to upper 50s, but still great tailgating weather. If you are planning to stay outside throughout the rest of today, going into the evening, it will remain sunny. There shouldn't be any rain chances coming your way for the rest of today, but still we've got a beautiful Sunday as we go on throughout the next couple hours. We will be gradually warming up this week, and this is what Ansley was talking about with that fall spring coming in later this week. But if anything, we do have some returning rain chances as we head on midweek towards the end of next week. But currently the main topic for the next 2 days at least will be those temperatures. So today we're climbing into the mid to upper 50s. As we go into tomorrow morning, were practically double what we were today. So most areas woke up in the low to mid 20s under, freezing. And as you go into the day tomorrow morning, as you head out the door and start making your way to work or taking the kids to school, it'll be a lot warmer. And as we get throughout the day, we notice a wind change. So earlier we saw winds were coming from the east, and then as we head into the morning and afternoon hours, that wind direction starts to take a change. So we start to see some southerly flow, and that just brings in a lot of moisture, and it does help with our warming as we head into the next couple of days. So we see as we get into the afternoon tomorrow, we'll be in the 60s when that spring-like temperature is starting to come back. And then we get a little bit warmer as we head into Tuesday morning, and then the 70s make an appearance. We start to see yellow on the map again. We've saw a lot of blue the last couple weeks. We had 3 back-to-back weekends of below freezing temperatures, around freezing, with storm and ice. And this weekend is a completely different picture. We have sunny skies, warmer conditions as we start the next week off. And current satellite shows it's going to be beautiful for the rest of today. As we go into the rest of your Sunday afternoon, it is going to stay clear as we've been talking about. Cloud cover starts to move in during the afternoons, or around game time you might notice some more clouds come in, but nothing in terms of rain should be coming your way. And will you stay mostly dry going into your Monday? There is some chance of some sprinkles or some light passing showers as you're going throughout your Monday. So if you may notice on the 7-day later, there'll be a 10% chance. It's for those few spots as we go through, but we'll stay mainly dry going into your Tuesday morning, and cloud cover starts to come in, and then we look at some better rain chances as we head into Wednesday. So we see more spots of some showers. So with the GFS and the Euro lining up, there is a possibility of some more scattered chances of showers, nothing in terms of a washout until we get into later of the week. A cold front passes through, it leaves some dry air and conditions for Thursday, and then we have increasing rain chances going into your weekends. We look like we have some type of rain chance Friday afternoon. It could be early or later, but then as we head into your Saturday, if you're looking for your Valentine's Day plans, especially in terms of early lunch or maybe dinner plans or brunch plans, the timing right now is looking to be a little bit uncertain. The GFS is ahead of the Euro. So if anything, you'll just want to tune into the forecast for the next couple of days and going throughout the week if you're planning to make any special Valentine's Day plans. But as we go into your weekend, it seems to be more of a washout. But yet again, we'll fine tune those as we go throughout the week. But for the rest of today, we've got some beautiful skies. We did wake up cold. We have that small chance of a possible sprinkle, but we'll stay mostly dry Monday through Tuesday. On Wednesday is when that front comes through and it gives us a little bit more of some scattered showers, and we see a better rain chance as we go into the weekend. But temperatures are starting to climb up. We enter the mid to upper 50s, 60s, and jump into the low 70s. But then we are staying within the average as we end the week. But for the rest of today, though, Ansley, it's looking pretty great out there.
Yeah, and today is Super Bowl Sunday, so there is a ton of reasons to be outdoors as we go throughout the rest of this afternoon. Now, if you have interest in the Super Bowl, I have to say, I'm not a fan of either two teams myself, but I know we have a lot of diehard fans across the area. So let's talk a little bit more about what we can expect both over at the game and then also here in Central Georgia. If you're tailgating, I've got more specific news for you here in just a moment, but I mean, spoiler alert, it is basically the perfect day today. High temperatures will be in the upper 50s. We'll have sunshine all day long. The 26 that we saw this morning is long gone, so nice and comfortable through the rest of the day today. Over where the game is being held at Levi Stadium, this is kind of in the San Francisco Bay Area over in Santa Clara. They're going to be just a little bit warmer than us. High temperatures will be in the upper 60s. There was a question of if they were going to have a scattered shower or not as we went through kind of the week last week, but it looks like they are going to have mostly quiet weather with just a couple of clouds out there and again some warm temperatures. So smooth sailing weather-wise all around, and especially here in Central Georgia. If you are looking to get out and tailgate, enjoy the weather, just be outdoors and enjoying the game outdoors, again, nothing is going to stand in your way from doing that. As we head into the kind of pregame time, that's around the time we'll hit our high temperature for today, again in the upper 50s. And then as we head into kickoff, we'll be dropping down into the mid 50s by the end of the game. You may just want to have a jacket on you if you still plan to be outside during that time. temperatures will be down in the low 50s, but it's clear skies all evening long, and we do not have to worry about rain for the rest of the day today. But you just saw the 7-day forecast. We do have a couple of rain chances in the forecast. And just kind of briefly before we close this out, I want to talk a little bit more about the rain chances that we do have and why that matters as we head into the month of February. So we actually are still in a drought here in central Georgia. In most areas, we're actually in a severe drought. So you can see that orange category is severe drought. It takes over most of our counties, and even the counties that aren't in a severe drought are still in a moderate drought. So really dry conditions across our area. If you're somebody who takes particular interest in drought conditions, maybe you have interest in agriculture, things like that, then you know we have been dealing with drought conditions for months and months and months. We kind of finally kicked ourselves out of it when we were at the very end of the year last year, kind of end of December, early January time. But it is back in full swing because we still have had some really below average rainfall as we've kind of kicked off the year 2026. So let's talk about how below average. Well, the rainfall totals during the past month of January, we only saw a little over 2 inches of rainfall. On average, in the month of January here in central Georgia, we are supposed to get over 4 inches of rainfall. So again, we kind of fell below average for this time of year as we had the month of January. And as we head into the month of February, the average is supposed to be right around that as well. I believe the average is 4 1/10 of an inch. So we are supposed to see over 4 inches once again this month. And you just saw the 7-day forecast. We do have a couple of rainfall chances on the way. The most promising right now, probably looking like the one in the extended forecast. That we just really have a few scattered rain chances until then. But as we head into the weekend, you can see the GFS and the Euro are definitely resolving something heading our direction. Now, you just heard Dani mention this. The timing on this is still really back and forth. Obviously, the GFS model has this coming in a lot earlier than the European model, almost a day's difference. This is talking about a lag between Saturday to Sunday. Even this latest model run has this just come in a lot later on Sunday than originally thought. So a lot of disagreement about what the timing of this is actually going to be, but this does look like it's most likely going to be our next widespread rainmaker. At this point in time, that's starting to look a little bit more certain. We will hope that this puts down some impressive rainfall totals. As you know, when we're still this far out, the actual totals that we're going to see is the part that's kind of still hard to nail down. But at this point in time, it definitely looks like we'll see something here in the area, and we will just continue to hope that it's something with some higher total. So that is kind of a look at the next weekend. Other than that, you kind of heard Dani talk about this as well. The rain chances that we have until then are really nothing more than just a couple of light scattered showers. So we probably won't amount to much as we go throughout the rest of the work week. It's really next weekend that we'll need to look towards to see any sort of meaningful rainfall. And again, the rain chance right now is for Saturday, but based on that latest model guidance that has come in, this may end up being more of a Sunday rain chance. We just kind of have to see how these two models resolve with one another, and then we can kind of get a clearer picture of what the weekend will actually look like. We'll keep the 30 on there for Saturday just for now, just to kind of throw the heads up on your horizon that there could be a more substantial rain chance on the way for the weekend. But the rest of the week, pretty quiet. I mean, we just talked about this. We're going to be in the 70s. It's going to be pretty calm and comfortable through the rest of the work week. And then as those rain chances start to go up, the temperatures will start to go down. So we'll still hang out around average for this time of year, but we're going to work our way away from the 70s and back into the low 60s, which is actually right where we're supposed to be for this time of year. So that's just a little bit of an insight to rainfall here in our area, what we need, what we'll be looking for throughout the month of February, and where we stand in terms of the drought conditions. But of course, it ends on a good note. Today is going to be a great, sunny, beautiful, and mostly warm day. If you're getting outside to enjoy the Super Bowl, please enjoy all of the outdoor time that we have today and make the most of the weather that we have outside right now, and then keep making the most of it if you are a warm weather person like myself as we head into the upcoming week, because it is just going to be a really nice week here. So with that being said, we also will be back once again tomorrow morning at 11 a.m. or rather meteorologist Alex Pry will be back for another extended look at the forecast. Maybe by then we'll have a couple more details about what the rain chances for the week will look like. And then of course, if you have interest in the weekend, just keep checking back with us. This is on the very end of the 7-day forecast. So the closer we get, the more information we're going to have. So with that being said, I hope you have a wonderful Sunday, and we will see you right back here tomorrow morning at 11 a.m.